Hello, good afternoon everyone. So here we are going to learn about what is frequency division multiple access. After going through the methodology of TDMA, that is time division multiple access technique, where we are utilizing particular time slots for each user. Now you are going to see about what is frequency division multiple access, where we are always comparing this with the TDMA and we are identifying what are the best advantages and disadvantages of this frequency division multiple access with time division multiple access. These are the two main techniques we are always utilizing. So here we are going to learn about what are the main theme of FDMA. So these are the learning outcomes where we are going to study the introduction of frequency division multiple access. What is the principle of frequency division multiple access, and what is the necessity of guard band in FDMA. Then what are the main features of the frequency division multiple access technique. Then how this FDMA is advantageous in our real life, that means what are the main advantages of FDMA method. Then finally we are going to see about what are the disadvantages of frequency division multiple access technique. So basically we know that whenever we are going for TDMA, so in TDMA always we are saying that the given frame is divided into time slots and each slot is allotted for an user. But here when you are coming to FDMA, in FDMA the frequency band is divided, okay, and each frequency band is allotted to one user like this. So the complete spectrum is divided into subspectrums. One frequency band is allocated to one user. If the user of that frequency is not using that, then that spectrum is waste. That means the channel allocation is done based on the frequency. So whenever the user is not using that frequency, then it is a waste of time. Then it is a waste of bandwidth or waste of frequency. So in FDMA, whenever you compare FDMA with TDMA, here always we are having a problem of spectrum wastage of spectrum. But this FDMA is having more powerful advantages comparing to TDMA. Because of allocating one spectrum for each user, the user can have a clear transaction with respect to the receiver. Okay. So in FDMA, the frequency is divided into subspectrums where each spectrum is allocated to one user. The user can use that spectrum or not. So this is how it is happening. So this is the given signal, which is the signals which are having separate channels for each user and separate spectrum for each user from source to receiver. So at the source side you are having modulators, then those are taken by a single channel which is known as commutator. Then at the receiver side decommutator, then you are having demodulators. If you observe this diagram, here each user is utilizing a separate frequency, like carrier frequency 1, carrier frequency 2, carrier frequency 3, like that and so on. So each user is having a separate frequency and that user is using that frequency. So if that user is not using that frequency, it is waste. So all those signals are transmitted through the channel. Then at the same time at the receiver side, those are going to be demodulated like this. Okay. So whatever may be the spectrum transmitted, whatever may be the user is transmitting using his channel, that is going to be received by the receiver. This is how the FDMA principle can be explained in a simple manner. But remember, whenever you are using this methodology, you have to utilize a guard band always. In between one signal to another signal, whenever you are transmitting, you should have a guard band. Okay, that means a small amount of bandwidth which we are not utilizing. This is very, very essential so that the receiver can understand what exactly they transmitted. That means we can avoid the Doppler frequency shift here by providing this guard band. That is the utilization of guard band. So in FDMA we must have a guard band in between the frequencies. So then these are the main features of FDMA, where you are always having continuous transmission because of allocation of the channels, and each channel is having a simple spectrum, so that means it is a narrow bandwidth. U doesn't require any overhead bits in FDMA, and FDMA can be having a nature of, it can be utilized both in analog and digital domain, and FDMA is not sensitive to near far problem like TDMA. In TDMA you are having cross-talking problem, all those can be avoided by using FDMA because of utilizing a filter. These are the main features, and these are the main advantages of FDMA method, where you are always utilizing a narrow bandwidth, very simple in design, and you cannot have very high costs. You will not have networking problems also. These are the advantages. The main advantage is the second one, we are always going for the narrow bandwidth, and these are the disadvantages. Because of the disadvantages are always because of guard bands, because where you are utilizing a small amount of bandwidth in between one signal to another signal. So because of that, we are always having maximum bit rate. Okay. So these are the main disadvantages. Flexibility, small inhibiting flexibility in bitrate capability. So these are the main disadvantages. So here we have learned about what is meant by FDMA, what is the principle of FDMA, and what are the main features of FDMA, what is meant by guard band, and what are the advantages of FDMA, and what are the disadvantages of FDMA. So please, you think about now, your work is, you please think about how to compare, or what are the main comparisons between TDMA and FDMA. So you please think up for some time. So in the next session we will see how you can compare TDMA with FDMA. Thank you.